I'm going to walk you through the exact step-by-step method that took me from 25% down to 10% body fat in only a few months. I'm going to tell you the exact plan and structure I followed. So if you actually listen, you can literally implement this for yourself tomorrow. And I guarantee if you do these, you will see results. So the first thing that I changed, the first step of the journey, is your habits and your mindset. See, anyone can lose weight for a short period of time. Anyone can get locked in and do what needs to be done. But if you are not creating the habits of someone, of who you want to be, you're going to fail in the long term. For example, over the Christmas, New Year's period that we just went through, lots of people that were on their fitness journey, trying to lose weight, trying to do their steps, whatever it is, they might have taken that week off, 2 weeks off. But this is the crucial mistake that lots of people make. See, even if you are not able to complete everything at 100% capacity, you should still continue with the habits. You should still be going out for a walk, even if it's a short one, if you're not hitting your goal of 10K steps. You should still be going to the gym, even if it means it's a short one. You should still be tracking your calories, even if it means that you're going over. You should still be doing all of these things because it is the habits. It's the habits that's going to drive your success in the long term, because this is a journey. This isn't 1 week, this isn't 2 weeks, this is multiple months of you continuing with a process and sticking to something and changing that mindset around your habits, making sure that that is the crucial crux of your journey, making sure that you have that locked in. That's what's going to drive your success. So that's the first thing that you need to change and implement, is building the habits consistently, never failing on the habits. It doesn't mean not failing on hitting the targets, whatever you need to do, but not failing on building the habits. The next thing is building a 5-step meal plan. Building 5 meals that you will have for the entire journey. Whoever said you need to have variety in your meal plans is setting you up for failure. See, what worked for me is having a structured meal plan. Something where I was eating very similar foods every single day. So I would have 3 meals planned out that I had basically every single day. And this limits your margin for error in terms of your mind, grocery shopping. It makes everything so easy. Once you build out a meal plan where you're hitting your carbs, your fats, your proteins to the exact ratios that you need, then you have everything locked in. And each day becomes very easy. There's no thought process. There's no, what am I going to eat? There's no margin for error in terms of that. But I like to build a 5-meal plan where there is a little bit of gap for movement. Say if after a few weeks you're getting a little sick of that third meal or that second meal, swap it for that other meal, one of the 5 that you have created. So this is the crucial thing, is not to have too much variety in your food, not to have too much free will with your food. It might sound a little bit restrictive, but if you build out the plan correctly, you're hitting all your macronutrients and micronutrients. You have everything that you need. The only thing holding you back is your mindset. When you have too much variety, you have too much room for error. And sometimes you need to reduce that a little bit, but with a little bit of backdoor movement. So that's why I like to build 5 meals that I rotate through, okay? So that's the other thing that you can do, is create a meal plan for yourself. 5 meals that you will stick to for 3 months, but have 3 that are the main ones, and then you swap in and out between the other 2 just to help you with that a little bit of variety, okay? But whoever said that you need to be having something different every single day, you don't need to be doing that. And that will stop you from achieving the results, because it's going to open the door, open your mind to wanting new things, wanting that experience. But food is fuel, okay? And you need to have that mindset shift. The next one is, of course, going into a calorie deficit. Now, if you need help with understanding what your base metabolic rate is, understanding what your base calories are, how much you should drop your calories by, feel free to reach out to me. Book a call with me below. We'll see if you're a good fit for coaching, because I can absolutely dial you in. But the main thing that you need to do is drop it by 500 to 750. That is going to be the best starting point for you. Now, once you figure out your base metabolic rate, drop it by 500 to 750, and you are going to be on a good trajectory for losing up to 1 kilo per week. That is going to drive your fat loss and drive the body fat going down. The next thing is start at 12K steps. I know everyone talks about 10K, and of course that's a really good number to hit, but that is going to, like, why I like to have a higher step count and build higher than 12K actually, is that I want to keep my foods and my calories as high as possible. And I don't want to be taking too much of a hit, too much of a calorie deficit with my food, because I still want the nutrition, the power for when I am in the gym. I still want that energy to push hard, and I want that energy to still continue to maintain my muscle, build muscle when I'm in the gym. So I like to keep my calories as optimal as possible. And the way I do that is by increasing my energy expenditure. And the easiest way to do that is by steps. Not going out for crazy runs, not doing HIIT cardio sessions, none of that, okay? Start with steps like I'm doing right now. You can accumulate it over the day, accumulate it over the day and build it up, okay? Doesn't need to be done in one big, 2-hour walk. You can do multiple half-hour walks or walks after each meal. You can build it up easily. Over a whole day, 2 hours of walking, it's not a lot, okay? So start doing that. Start focusing on your step count. That's what's going to drive the real body fat drop. And there's other benefits to it too, not just about energy expenditure. It's going to increase your insulin sensitivity. That's going to decrease your chances of storing energy that you're consuming as fat. So that's the other benefit. The next thing you need to do, and a little bit of the obvious one, is you still need to go hard in the gym. Lots of people, when they go into a calorie deficit, they think, oh, I'm going to get smaller, I'm going to get weaker, I'm going to take a little bit of a hit from that perspective. But that is not true. That is the fallacy in your mind that you are going to get weaker, that you're going to lose muscle. Okay, a big misconception out there is that when you go into a calorie deficit, you're going to lose muscle. And unless you're in an extremely restrictive environment over a long period of time, you're not going to lose muscle. Okay, at worst, you might lose 5% of your weight loss in muscle. So say, for example, you've lost 10 kilos. At worst, you might lose 500 grams of muscle, which when you go back into a building phase, you're going to put on like that super quick. So over the long-term view, you're not taking a hit, okay? And that is under an extreme scenario as well. If you've got everything planned out correctly, your calories, your steps, if you need help with this, feel free to reach out to me. But if you've got everything dialed in correctly as you should, you're not going to lose any muscle, which means you're not going to lose any strength, you're not going to lose any power, and you're not going to lose any real size, because you got to think of that body fat that's on you as just extra baggage. It's not helping you in the gym. It's not making you stronger, okay? All that is extra weight, okay? It's not helping you. Getting rid of that, stripping that off is going to benefit you. And you can not only maintain your muscle, but if you have a high enough body fat percentage, you can build muscle at the same time. Because you have that stored energy there on your body, which your body can use to build muscle. So changing your misconception, that fallacy that you need to get weak in the gym, is the next thing that you need to change. So you need to push hard in the gym. You need to push harder than when you are in a bulk, You need to be taking sets to failure. You need to be pushing hard. No junk volume. Don't be doing 4 sets of 12 on every exercise. If you're hitting 4 sets of 12 with the same weight on every exercise, I guarantee you are not pushing hard enough, okay? Drop the volume, increase the intensity, okay? That's what's going to drive that preservation of your muscles, okay? So make these changes. This is exactly the step-by-step method that I went through. This is what took me from skinny fat to abs for the first time in my life. Finally getting that transformation, changing my life, was doing these very simple things. There was no crazy cardio sessions. There was no, sweating like a pig or, balled over in a corner because I've just finished some kind of boxing class, HIIT cardio session. I wasn't doing any of that stuff, okay? I was watching my food, my steps, and I was going hard in the gym. That was it, okay? But I had a plan in place. I had accountability in place. I had a coach that was walking me through the process, making sure I was hitting all of my targets. That's what drove my success. I know this will work for you, man. Hopefully this helps.